In explanation, literary devices, tone, theme, and message of the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. Let's do a little background of this poem first. So, A Thing of Beauty is included in John Keats' first epic poem, Endymion, which was published in 1818. Now, this poem, Endymion, it is a narrative about the relationship between a goddess and her human lover. It is based on the Greek myth of Endymion, the shepherd and poet who falls in love with the moon goddess. The enchanted youth resolves to seek her out and so wandered away through forest and down the sea. The epic begins with a famous line, the most memorable line, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. So this epic Endymion, it is based on this Greek myth about it's a story about Endymion and the Greek and the moon goddess. Now, a thing of beauty, line by line explanation of this. So this is the first stanza. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Now here the poet wants to say that a beautiful thing, it provides us joy forever, but he doesn't define that beautiful thing. So according to the poet, that beautiful thing can be any. So you can see here a few pictures. So a beautiful thing, it can be any, as it is said that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So the poet, without defining that what beautiful thing he's talking about, he says that a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness. So that sense of that beautiful thing, it'll never become zero, it'll never become a void. So but rather its loveliness will keep on increasing with time. So whenever you are reminded of that beautiful thing, you will become joyful. But will keep a bower quiet for us. The bower is a pleasant shady place under trees. So here you can have a picture, you can understand it with this picture. So like this shade, you will be protected. So that beauty, it will protect you from gloom, it will protect you from sorrow, it will provide you joy in those bad times. So it will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams, health and quiet breathing. So because that beauty, it will protect you from gloom, it will protect you from sorrow. So you will have a sleep that will be full of sweet dreams. You'll remain healthy and you'll remain quiet. So let's quickly read this explanation. So you can keep your book in front of you and you can note down the explanation. The poet is of the view that a beautiful thing, so it can be any, provides pleasure forever. Its beauty, its loveliness never fades away, rather, it increases with time. It will never be turned into a void, but will always serve as a peaceful shade for us, under which we'll enjoy sleep full of sweet dreams and stay healthy and calm. So, this is the first stanza. Now, let's move on to the next one. Then the poet says, therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways made for our searching, yes, in spite of all. So every morrow here means the every other day or every following day. So he says that every day we are surrounded by so many beautiful things. So he says that all these beautiful things, they encircle us like a wreath of a flowery band, like a flowery band, and it connects us to the earth. So that flowery band, it connects us to the earth. But then the poet says that there is a cruelty, there is gloom around us. So, spite of despondence, inhuman dearth of noble natures, those gloomy days, and all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways. He says that amidst all this negativity, we have to look for that beauty, so made for our searching. There is beauty around us, so we have to perceive it. We have to look for that beauty. So he says, now let's read the explanation. The poet further says that every moment we are surrounded by beautiful objects, and these give a meaning to life. Sorry. So here it's missing. This give us, sorry. And these give us a meaning to live. Then he says this beauty binds us, encircles us with a flowery band and keeps us close to earth. Without beauty, the earth it is full of sadness and gloom. So there's lack of good people, there's lack of noble souls. It is because of this beauty. So it is only because of this beauty, only if we notice and appreciate it, that all the cruelty and gloom, it is removed from our mind and soul. So made for our searching, if we pay attention to it. So if we look for it, so our mind and our soul, it will stay calm. So it is the beauty that brings positivity, that brings optimism in our life. So this is the flowery root. So like this beauty, it encircles us all the time. It is around us all the time. We just have to perceive it. Now, next. So some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits, such as the moon, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, a sprouting, a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils, with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. So then he points at certain beautiful things that we find around us in nature. So, Paul, the meaning of Paul is a cloud. Here it means a dark cloud of sadness and gloom. So, he says that in spite of all this, in spite of all the negativity that we read in the previous stanza, he says that in spite of all that, some shape of beauty moves away the pall. So, in spite of all that negativity, there is always some shape of beauty around us that will take away that gloom from us. So, from our dark spirits. So, then he names a few beautiful things. So, he says the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. So, rills here, it is a small river. Covert, it's written here, so it's a secret or not openly displayed, something that's hidden. It can be a hidden shade also. So then he names that the sun, the moon, so all these things in nature, they're all beautiful. So even the river with its clear water, so it provides in hot summer, it gives it cools our soul. So let's read the explanation here. The poet further says that in spite of all the cruelty and gloom, it is some kind of beauty that moves those dark clouds away from our suffering spirits. So whether we are surrounded by gloom, we are sad, if we are reminded of a certain beautiful thing, so it will take away our sadness. Then he names some of those things, the beautiful things that are eternal. The sun, moon, trees, shady grove for sheep, daffodils, river with and its clear water that cools everyone in summer. So here you can see the river and it provides us a cool shade in summers. Now next, the mid-forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens' brink. Now then in this last stanza he says that the beauty of bushes of fern in the forest and blooms of musk rose. So he is carrying on with the list that he has written in the previous stanza. So the forest, then the fair musk rose blooms, so all the flowers. So these also provide us eternal beauty. But then he also talks about the grandeur, the magnificence of the dead. So, what he says about them, he says further, he conveys that not only these things from nature, but the stories of the majestic and mighty brave men, so that we have heard or we have read about them, so who sacrificed their lives for mankind. These are also beautiful. So we have imagined for the mighty dead, the grandeur of the dooms that we have imagined for the mighty dead. So he's talking about the great people who've sacrificed their lives for humanity. So all the stories, all the lovely tales that we have heard or read about them, so provide us, they also motivate us. So they also encourage us. They also inspire us. So these awe-inspiring things of beauty, they act as a nectar for us. So act as a nectar for us, like a holy drink, a gift of God from heaven. So this is a gift of God to us from heaven. So these stories, the stories of these great people, so their stories, they inspire us and they give us a reason to live. So these act as an endless fountain of immortal drink. So immortal drink acts as a nectar pouring unto us from heaven's brink. So it is a gift of God from heaven, and these serve as an inspiration for us. And they also bring out, uh, take out of the gloom, the sadness, if you're surrounded, if we are sad, if we are in grief. So such stories, they also inspire us to overcome all gloom. So break, the meaning here is a group of bushes, the shrubs or the trees. Grandeur means impressive. So doom is the last day of existence, or death. Immortal drink is never ending, something that is never ending. So this gift, the stories of these great people and all the beautiful things around us, these are a gift of God from heaven to us. So these are all great people. So these great people, their stories, they are inspiring for us. And now we move on to the literature devices. So the first literature device is alliteration. So these are the examples that I've taken from the various stanzas. So you can keep your book and you can in front of you and you can mark these. So band to bind. So burr sound here. Then noble natures, ner sound. Touch the sun. Then cooling covert and having heard. So there can be other examples also. So you can find out those examples on your own. Now the next lecture device is anaphora. So these two lines, of noble natures and of the unhealthy. So here consecutive lines beginning from the same word of. So that is why this is anaphora. Then we have inversion. Now inversion, it is in a very simple words, it is normal word of orders, it is reversed. So normal order of these words in the sentence, that is reversed. For example, this line, are we weaving a flowery band to bind us to the earth? So here we do not have a question mark. So since it's not a question, so the normal order, it is reversed. It should actually have been, we are weaving a flowery band. So therefore, this is an example of inversion. Then we have antithesis. So antithesis, trees old and young. So contradictory ideas. Here, trees old and young, sprouting a shady. So here we have antithesis. Next, metaphor. Bower quoit is a metaphor. So a beautiful thing has the ability to provide shade or protect from the negativities and difficulties of the world, as bower provides shade from sun. So here, this bower, it is referring, or it is protecting us from gloom and sadness, as shade protects us from the sun. So that is why it is a metaphor. Then wreathing a flowery band. So here beauty, or the sense of a beautiful thing, it surrounds us and it binds us to the earth like a band. So it binds us to the earth like a band. So this band, actually, it's not actually band of flowers, it's a band of beautiful things. That can be any. Then comes immortal drink. So never ending nectar of beauty. So this immortal drink, it is not actual drink. So it is the essence of that. That is nectar of beauty. So that is why it is metaphor. Then imagery. So the poem, it is replete with beautiful images. So you can, the images of bower, a flowery band, then sun, moon, trees, sheep, river, daffodils, roses. So beautiful images you'll find in whole poem. The rhyme scheme is AABB. If you will take 4 lines, forever, never, keep and sleep. So if you will include other lines, like if you take the first stanza of 6 lines, then accordingly you can make the rhyme scheme. Now next here, the theme. The poem's theme, it is stated in the first line. So the very first line that provides us with the theme, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. So without defining beauty, the poet conveys the ability of anything beautiful to provide a long-lasting pleasure. Its power grows with time and never fades. The qualities of that lovely thing can uplift and heal a person. So, this is important. It can uplift and heal a person. In this poem, Keats finds such attributes in nature: sun, moon, river, flowers, trees, so on, as well as stories of bravery and sacrifice made by great men for the sake of humanity. So he finds that these attributes, the attributes of healing, the attributes of uplifting, so these are found in nature, but they are also found in the stories of great men, the great men who have sacrificed their lives for the sake of humanity. The poet also refers to beauty as heavenly, lending it a spiritual quality. So, this beauty, it is not only physical. So, he refers to beauty as heavenly, lending it a spiritual quality. Beauty's essence is spiritual. It is an immortal drink that flows from heaven's endless fountain. So, this is the theme. Now, quickly, the message. The poet implies that beauty can be found anywhere. What matters is how we interpret it. It keeps us positive, healthy, and upbeat. As a result, we must be sensitive enough to notice the beauty around us and bind. So, that is, this beauty, it will connect or it will bind ourselves to the beauty of nature for spiritual upliftment. So, this is the message that the poet wants the readers to take home. And the tone of the poem, it is awe-inspiring. So it's clearly awe-inspiring. So that's all for today. I hope that you've liked the explanation and all the lines, they are very clear to you. So now I hope that you'll be able to solve all the questions in your exam. So happy watching and happy preparation. Bye for now.